Hi, my name is Catherine Branham. I wanted to do this video to explain a little bit about some of the earth energies for those of you that are on your spiritual path, and for some of you that are just learning a little bit about the energy field, the human energy field. I hope this brings a little bit of clarity to what's actually going on. When I've been asked about the election and about the candidates and various things, outside of just retrieving the answers during the readings, I'm being shown exactly why certain things are in place and why certain things are happening for the greater good. One of the things that they kept bringing up to me in channeling is this is about balancing earth energy, and this is about balancing the energy within all people on earth, whether they're on their spiritual path or not. It's really for people to notice what needs to be changed or purged within them and fix it, whether it's brought to light or maybe it's just a subtle nudge to awaken that energy field. One of the things that kept coming up during the election really actually gets down to people, ancestors. It actually gets down to different industries that we're clearing out, able to see the ugly side of humanity and for it to be brought to light. Slavery and behaviors of feeling that someone is greater than another person is the reason of why things are coming into balance now. Everything has a check and balance system in the spiritual world. So as one thing happens, there's other things that begin to clear up, that begin to help it to resolve. So we have a better understanding not only about who we are, but about what we want. A lot of people don't see this until they reach a certain age, and maybe with wisdom of life experiences, some of the things that they've had to go through, they begin to respect other people and they begin to understand the importance behind why treating another person as you would you'd want to be treated is important. Many people weren't raised with that mentality because they were just either it was overlooked or it was an old mindset. That's why many things are coming up right now. Many things that I've talked about in the last couple of videos about the different industries, like the entertainment industry, the university scandals that we've had. The university scandals, the reason why those things came up at this particular time in the last 4 years was actually to help with Earth's ascension. It was for people to realize no one's greater than the other. No matter how much money you have, you cannot buy yourself into certain levels of life. And although that has been something that people have done in the past, it's no longer going to be acceptable. During this time period, it also shines light on industries. Not only the entertainment industry, judicial industry, the university, but it's also shining light on the basis of what built those industries up. And not too long ago, in the last, I guess, 6 years, they had found slave labor on an oil ship, offshore oil ship, and this was brought to light. This was off the coast of another country, and so modern day slavery exists. This is the thing that's supposed to come down completely, where we're supposed to see each other at an even playing field. It's ridiculous that this is still going on with all the great technology and advancements that the earth has been able to make, that they can still see things that are so obvious in a very different way. And part of the connection to be able to change this is be able to see another person as an equal. See them as they are exactly like and where they need to be. It doesn't mean that they need to be put in a different place. They should not be treated different. This has been a very big problem for many years, and it continues to be overlooked. That's what this election's about. I've spent the last several weeks almost unable to sleep due to some of the channelings and messages that I've received about this upcoming election. The reason why Trump did serve the last 4 years was to spotlight exactly what was not acceptable. It was also to show a little bit about what we want moving forward. It was to show some of the old paradigm that really is disgusting when you think of it in the light of day. When you talk about it and see exactly what goes on, it's so different to see what's acceptable now, what was acceptable in the 80s, what was acceptable in the 60s, what was acceptable in the 30s. When you look at it now, it's really disgusting. So as Earth has got, the people of Earth have gotten wiser, this is a time for this to clear. Many people have called me about certain issues that they've never had in their life, but physical elements that are coming up right now, and that's actually tied to the Earth's ascension. It has to do with humanity's ascension. Not only is the university changing with this COVID, the way the school systems are changing with this COVID, it's not going to be about who's wearing the nicest clothes to school or who's pulling up. And this is actually changing for survival. We're going to be able to see people in a different way. Just like after 9/11, everybody was wanting to hug each other. We were all wanting to band together. There's going to be some, of course, civil unrest with this election. But what I have seen in the channelings and the readings that I've done, there's going to be pockets of this well into next year that's still going to be clearing out due to some of the old mentality that have set this up and actually fueled these fires. But it's going to clear out, and there's going to be a lot learned during the process. There's also going to be a lot of changes in how we cope. The coping, how we cope with different things, that's going to change, because many people really felt that, you know, let's have a glass of wine, let's relax. But the vineyards in California have dealt with fires, they've dealt with tragedy there, and it's horrible what has happened to all the nature that was destroyed. But actually it was tied to the slave labor that built the vineyards. It was the universe's way of saying this mentality of how this was built and what happened here is going to change. And we're going to rebuild the industry in a completely different way. The judicial system is going to be a big thing on how people are viewed, the way people are treated, people who are arrested, people who are incarcerated, how they're treated. Some of the things that I wanted to show you here. Here you are at the bottom of your family tree, all your ancestors up here. So some of the things that are clearing actually have to do with things that maybe your grandparents did or the way that their grandparents believed. There's little fine slivers, and even though you're down here and you had nothing to do with that, there's small slivers of your DNA that are coming out that were ingrained that are now being released to the light for good. So it's going to help you, it's going to help your offspring, it's going to help your grandchildren, it's going to help all energies that are coming into the earth, all of them that will be born to the earth. It's going to change the dynamics for their lives moving forward. So what I have here is a diagram. I've had lots of people contact me about their physical elements, things that they're going through. What I want to show you here is that the main ones that you're working on at this point tied to the issues of what's happening is going to be the mind. Okay, so it's going to be your crown, has to do with the way you're thinking. It's going to be solar plexus, your power center, where what you feel. It's what motivates you moving forward. And it also has to do with your root chakra. So part of this, your solar plexus and your crown, this is going to change the dynamics, because many people have called, they've said, well, they're having this, they're having that. They attribute it to maybe sitting too much, not getting exercise. But this actually has to do with fine levels of energies that have been attached to you through old mentalities, old beliefs, depending on where you were in the world, at what point, where your ancestors came from. There's a lot of old things that are clearing when it comes to humanity right now. So from right now on through uh, the end of November, you're going to have lots of people that are really going to be changing. You may notice that they change right before your eyes. You're going to see a difference in how they treat other people. Moving up to this time, there's been lots of people with some crazy, with some crazy situations they're dealing with. They haven't seen people behave this way before at work. Maybe they haven't seen people behave this way with home. But there's going to be some changes coming up. Maybe some anger. You may, just like I spoke about in one of my videos about people getting on your nerve. This actually has to do with things coming to a standstill and really beginning to clear. This next couple of days with the election at hand, many people have called and they want to know who's going to win the election. It is going to be Biden that wins the election. The people are very happy to hear that. They're very prayerful that this will be the case. But this is also about just showing civil unrest. And the reason why there would be when Biden wins is because there's been groups of people that have been given a cause to act up, a cause to act upset. During one of my conversations with someone over the last few weeks, they had asked me who I believe is going to win the election. I had told them I see Biden winning. When they said, what's going on? Are you sure about this? I turned around and asked them, why do they support Trump? Why do they see Trump as being, important? Or what made them vote for him? And all he could come back and say was, because he stands up for what he believes in. I have really had to laugh because many groups that we don't want anything to do with stand up for what they believe in. And that's just not a good enough reason. It's standing up for something good, for a worthy cause. And early on, before anybody knew who would really run against Trump, people already had it in their mind they needed a change, even those that had voted for him. Those that had voted for him previously and have recognized the ugliness or noticed the ugliness, they've actually gone through a spiritual awakening that they are experiencing, and they will continue to experience. It's going to be phenomenal for those people. Humanity in itself is going through an awakening. There's so many people awakening now more than ever before in the history of this planet, because it's that time that people are beginning to release the smoke and mirrors of all of these industries that have been put in place, and they're changing it. That's why I say, whenever you're working on your spiritual growth, drinking is not the thing, because that alcohol is connected to an old way of either harvesting or distilling. There is very sad there's very sad history attached to each one of these industries. With the entertainment industry, there's going to be more that comes out, although it's not the bad behavior, but it is a type of slave behavior of being able to hold on to the rights of material that actually belongs to someone else, or contracts that were made up in one way only to suit one set of people. These are going to be changing. There's already been big changes with the music industry and changing the way that production, record labels, things like that. This will continue to evolve to where people will be able to actually own their own material again. Balancing of earth energy and all the people. This actually has to do with some of the hurricanes. They made a joke saying if the hurricanes continue, we're going to have to go into the Greek alphabet. And we've already reached an above average of hurricanes for the season, and we're not even finished with the hurricane season. What this actually has to do with is the purification. It actually has to do with all of the energies of what the earth is picking up. Texas has already broken records with the election, just with the pre-election voting, because this has been such a strong force that people have actually recognized as it's the old paradigm that needs to go. It's going to take quite a bit of time to really work through all that's gone on for the last few years. For the next year, there's going to be several people to come out with information regarding exactly what was happening with the government under the care of Trump. There's going to be a lot that's turned up. Some of the things that come up are just going to be very harmful. And this is one of the key reasons of why things need to change. It's going to allow people to see what you see on the outside isn't always what's going on the inside. And again, it's the smoke and mirrors removal of what's to come. It also has to do with some of the things that we have viewed one way, and we need to really begin to ask why and what whenever we're concerned with something or someone's trying to tell us something. Ask why, ask what, go in and really begin to trust your instincts. That's one of the best things that you can do for yourself. So when someone's telling you one thing, don't just feel, oh, they have money, they're rich, they're this. Go in and really feel it out on if this really matches with who you are, what your integrity is. You need to be able to feel that you really are a co-creator of your destiny, and co-creating it means allowing people to be the voice for you when you have beliefs in different either industries or viewpoints. You want a person that really reflects those views. And for the next several presidents, it's going to be a tough road to really kind of clean up what's gone on in the last 4 years. So there's going to be a lot of that. There's going to be a lot more university stuff that's going to be brought to light. There's going to be many industries that are going to be changing. I know the oil and gas industry is really worried, but part of that clearing actually has to do with old karmic debt, old karmic clearing that is connected to slave labor and things of that nature, because the oil industry does still have some of those threads today in what they're doing. The entertainment industry, and again, the wine is a big thing that's going to continue to evolve. More and more people are going to be into the purifying their mind. Even the industries that may not be listed up here, you're going to really be able to sit back and say, okay, what is this connected to? And I guarantee it, if you do some research and you find exactly how they began, the history, even if you put in, if you Google oil industry, slave labor, entertainment industry, slave labor, there's going to be information that comes up where you can actually do your own research and find out, and you'll understand then why all these things happened at once. I had one lady say, seems like everything was happening at once, university scandals, government stuff, COVID, all this stuff. It's not all happening at once. It's been happening, and it's time to address it. It's time to stop it. It's time to recognize everybody as an equal, everybody, no matter who you are. And this COVID thing, if people are saying, they're sick, the COVID thing is absolutely real. It's way more serious than what was ever told. And for some people that have been in the public eye, very high profile people who have said that they have had COVID, you really need to go in and fill that out, because that is not true. Some of them, there was a couple of people that had lied about having COVID so they could actually get the sympathy of the world, get the sympathy of their country, and be able to say, it's not a big deal. See, I had it and I got over it. So I don't think it's a big deal. It was really it was a ploy. So you wouldn't be scared about COVID, or you wouldn't come back and say, you didn't tell us how serious it was. It's it's very serious, but it will be cleared up. It's not a matter of it being cleared up. It's a matter of us understanding and coping and releasing some of the old paradigm and old ancestor behavior, beliefs, and things that were just taught to us either from family, from churches, from governments, whatever your family's history is. Um, that's what's clearing right now, and that's what this election is. Once we get past the election, there's still going to be some unrest with certain individuals, with certain groups of people that will still want to act out, but they will be dealt with. There's going to be by the government, and there's going to be many changes that will be very good for humanity overall. It's a tough road. We're in the U.S. Financially is in a lot worse shape than probably what's been led on, and that's why so many former presidents and so many people who are actual economists have really gotten involved, because they are truly worried. They know exactly what's going on, even though it has not been conveyed to the public completely. And it's really a time for you to go in and fill this out. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Let me know how this is working out for you. I would strongly suggest that during this time period that you really take time to self-care. Go in, maybe do a meditation. One of the meditations that I would suggest that's very good is Hemisync, HEMISYNC. Their meditations are really good. You need to do them with earphones, and I would suggest you don't always have to do them sitting upright. I would suggest laying down, enjoying, just relaxing. Even if you fall asleep, you're still getting the benefits, and I would suggest listening to them several times, even the same one, several times in a row, because what happens is, even if you don't notice something on the first try that you listen to it, I've noticed in the energy field, after watching people listen to it, there's things that change in their energetic makeup around their energy field of their body. So I know that things are waking up for them. This is going to be a wonderful time for you to deepen your spiritual growth. Please try not to get too involved in the emotions and things that are happening. Take some time, turn off the TV, even if you have to turn off Yahoo for a while, and maybe watch a movie, get caught up, do some binge watching, but take your time and relax. Do not allow yourself to feel the stress. A lot of people have called about the anxiety. This is actually the anxiety of the collective consciousness that you're picking up on. So take some time, relax, and clear that energy. Make sure you stay in touch with those people that you love, and reach out to them and let them know how important they are to you. Have a great day. Keep me posted, and enjoy your week ahead.